the moment when you talk about threats. The big threat now is what has happened also inside the EU. You have seen killings of investigative journalists. We have much more cross-border journalism today. We have cross-border crimes, cross-border frauds. You have so many things going cross-border and at a very, very high level. So we have to find ways to be better to protect journalists. And we need mechanisms in all European countries. We have the UN Plan of Action for Safety of Journalists and the issue of impunity. We have the European Council recommendation to all member states to make sure that journalists can be safe. We have to respect that in all countries. We have to empower and encourage our states to have mechanisms, to create mechanisms and national action to make sure that journalists can be safe. Just for example, also in a country like Denmark, where I'm coming from, we are now creating an action plan together with the ministries and the police and all the authorities, the media and journalists together. We're trying to do that. They have done it in Sweden already, a very big national action plan they made. We should have such action plans in all European countries, because that can when journalists are killed, they have always received threats before they have been killed. You can see them. All the two cases from Slovakia and Malta, both they received threats and nobody really took care of those threats. We need to find mechanisms so we can safeguard journalists in a much better way than today, because it's getting more dangerous. This is one thing that really concerns me. How can we create a safe environment? And those who should be a part of the solution are the state leaders. Because the state leaders today, you see more state leaders creating an environment demonizing journalists. You have states always saying, well, they protect and they say we need press freedom, we need free speech and all that. And then they say, but then journalists should also behave them correctly and should send correct news and all that. I just have to say, we don't need state leaders to educate us in journalism. We know our duties. We know we have to be ethics. We know all about that. What we need our state leaders is to protect us. We need state leaders to be a part of those who create the environment for free media, for press freedom, for space for journalists to do their job. And then it's of course our duty to be good journalism and create quality journalism. Absolutely. So this is another challenge, and so we have to. We really need to be in dialogue with state leaders, with the governments, to make sure that we have good environments for journalism. And then you've got all about, and I call it fakes, nothing else, because what you normally say is fake.
No fake news, just fake.
No, just fakes, because and we have to find ways to counter it. And the best way, in my view, is first of all quality journalism. It's simply the best way to fight it. Really good quality journalism, and then media information literacy. Journalists and academics need to go together and find ways to deliver news literacy for not only schools and universities and so on, also for the citizens.